Next on Unity Live at GDC, we're talking Windows mixed reality.
Hello and welcome back to Unity Live at GDC. We're joined by Jaime from Microsoft Windows Mixed Reality. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's
Hey,
great
welcome.
to have you here. So Jaime, tell us, what is Windows Mixed Reality?
Yep. So Windows Mixed Reality is the term that Microsoft uses for that continuum of experiences that we have from physical experiences, which is usually augmented reality, all the way to virtual reality, where you have an occluded headset and you cannot see anything. You're transported somewhere else. So with Microsoft, we have one platform that you use to develop applications across that whole span. And that's what we call Windows Mixed Reality. So it's just our version of the term. Anybody can call it XR, virtual reality, augmented reality, everything is in there.
And so obviously with that platform you've got, and we've seen quite a lot of headsets from a whole bunch of different manufacturers, so it's really a broad platform, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So what we've done from Microsoft was, you probably heard of HoloLens. We launched our platform, Mixed Reality platform, probably 2.5 years ago. And that's been going great. It's right on track. We're tracking commercial scenarios. But last fall in October, we actually introduced our virtual reality headsets, which are our mixed reality headsets. And I actually have a trailer for them that we can show you in a minute. But we just launched them in October, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about, how easy it is to target those immersive headsets from within Unity.
And so what kind of experiences are people making? Like,
yeah, that's where the trailer comes in. You can
let's
see
have a look. Let's have a
Let's
look at it
take
right
a
now.
look at the trailer.
So hopefully that gives you a good idea. It's an immersive headset. It's an occluded headset like everybody else's. Where we differentiate a little bit is the setup is super easy. You don't need lighthouses. You don't need anything. You plug in your HDMI and USB port onto your computer, and you're ready to go.
That was the bit that really stuck out for me from the trailer, was like, no lighthouses. So I recently set up the Vive stuff at home and all that kind of thing, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of laborious and painful. And the idea of having like some accurate controllers is pretty appealing. Yeah,
the controllers are very accurate, and we use, again, inside-out tracking, so you can walk around. You're still tethered. There is a cable, but you can walk around without lighthouses, and we track the controllers even behind your head, everywhere else. So,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually, it's quite cool that we have. Like, for us, we're very excited about it. It's technology that's been proven because we launched it with HoloLens several years ago, so we know how well it works.
Cool.
And so for developers who maybe have developed an application for the Rift or Gear VR, how easy is it then to take that experience to Windows Mixed Reality?
Well, obviously it varies on the experience, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you're developing with Unity, it's super easy, right? You just come in, usually you can keep your controller code depending on what you have. If you want to, if for example you have a video experiences where you're showing the controllers, then you just need to replace the model, or actually call onto the APIs that give you the right model so you can render the right model. If you're using hands or something like that, you don't even have to replace that. You can just continue to use OpenXR or Unity APIs to track our controllers, and everything is seamless. For the most part, with Unity, because it's so portable, you don't have to do a lot of replacement. You have to do very little tweaks. There's a lot of areas where you can do a little bit more. For example, we have this environment, which is our kind of our home, where the user keeps all their apps. We call that the Cliff House. And there's optimizations you can do, for example, nice 3D launchers. Instead of just application icons, you get a really nice 3D model. You can animate it. You can do really interesting things with it, so that people remember where it's at. And you can actually place it kind of as a decoration in your Cliff House. So for example, your application's icon is, can be a live character that's sitting right here on the table, or it
cool.
can be a TV or something that kind of decorates your house.
So it's nicer than just having, I've got this lovely house, and then there's just a bunch of panels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yep. So yeah, it's very simple. To go back to your question, we see anything from, we have porting labs where people come in and in 4 days they're like completely ported. To some people that said, okay, we have a lot of custom or native plugins or things that need to be ported a little bit more, and those can take weeks or up to a month. But it's very easy. With Unity, as you know, porting across platforms is too easy. So that's why we're here to talk to developers, make sure they're aware of our platform, and make sure that if they have a Unity experience, they actually look into it, seeing if they can port it. We have our own store, so our own digital store, which is the Windows Store, which is used by all Windows developers. So there's hundreds of millions of people there. So if anybody's out there and if you launch on Steam and you're not getting discovered, this is a pretty easy place for you to launch an application where you have a much higher visibility just because there's less apps. We're just, our store just launched last October. So, cool. Right now we have less apps than Steam or everybody else would have.
Cool. So obviously you're here at GDC. Like, if people want to come and talk to you about Windows Mixed Reality, where are they going to go?
Yep. So Microsoft has a booth, and I'm going to butcher where, where the expo floor is. We're actually going to be outside. We have a booth right there. There's Microsoft people everywhere, so so we have way too many meetings. Yeah. It's usually interesting how we don't always have a booth, but there's so many Microsoft people at GDC. But this year we have a booth right outside of the expo. It will say Microsoft, and there will be people from all technologies, Visual Studio, Azure, and Windows Mixed Reality there. So if you get there and you talk to somebody from Visual Studio, just ask, because there's people from all of our teams there. So.
Cool. So I think that some people will probably want to actually experience some of these headsets, because a lot of people have probably tried, some of the competitors. Have you got some of those on the booth they could try out?
Yep. Yeah, we have them at the booth, and we also with Unity tomorrow at your offices. I know we'll have office hours. I think most of the afternoon from 1 to 5, so people can come in there and experience them, talk to developers, get all the tips, hear about some of the resources that we have.
And if you're not lucky enough to be here at GDC, what kind of online resources do you have?
Perfect. So we have two things that I want to highlight today. aka.ms/iwantmr, all lowercase. So that's a URL.
Okay, run that by me one more time.
aka.ms/iwantmr.
Got it.
Okay.
So that's the, aka.ms is our URL shortener. And then I want MR is like where where developers the part of developers need to remember. And that's where people go in there. As a developer, you can go in there and just say, hey, I have this application already. They ask you a few questions, so kind of you profile yourself, and you nominate yourself to get a headset and get all sorts of resources from there. Like we have a program there that people
So you just
can
apply
send.
for them?
Yeah, you apply for it. You enter your personal information. You enter information about your app, and then you hear back from somebody at Microsoft that says, hey, we would like to send you a headset. We'd like to onboard you into the program, and then from there you get tips. You get a monthly newsletter. You get somebody, or you get resources available for to support you if you have questions where you're saying, hey, I'm trying to do this, or my application does this thing that's very specific. How could I port this? You will have actually live people who can actually answer your questions.
Oh, so you got a bunch of support engineers in there helping out. Amazing.
Yep.
Cool.
And so you get a lot of resources from there. And then after that, depending on where your application's in, we contact you and say, hey, we would like, you're going to go to the store now, as you're getting ready, we would like to promote you this way. Sometimes you can be spotlight in our store, or we have other ways that we can promote the experiences there.
Super cool.
So that's one. If you have an experience, apply there. aka.ms/iwantmr. You also obviously documentation. We have good developer docs. You have good developer docs. We have our own developer docs, and we collaborate with you with Unity to make sure that the developer docs are current. So if you want to just learn a little bit about getting started, we also have other documents. For that one, aka.ms/winmr Unity port. So one word, no spaces, no all lowercase, nothing in there. WinMR Unity port. It's a little bit longer, but if you go to aka.ms/iwantmr, from there you'll get the email that tells you to go to the Unity porting guide anyway. So,
awesome.
So that's a good way to get started.
Cool.
Sounds
Awesome.
Great.
Jaime.
Great potential.
Yep.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having
being
me.
on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
See you around the show.
Yep.